If you ask the experts, air travel is becoming an increasingly placid, safe, error-proof, and fail-safe experience. However, landing in New York is not the same as landing in one of those places that not even the most experienced pilot dares to approach. We're talking about 7 impossible places where airplanes can hardly reach. But what really happens in these airspaces? Do they keep any secrets? Are they dangerous or forbidden? If you join us in this opportunity, you will discover the answer to all these questions and some of the best-kept secrets of the skies. Number 7. Mount Vernon. The United States is one of the busiest air traffic countries in the world. In its more than 50 states, airplanes come and go every day, at all hours and at all times of the year. However, although this huge territory is bustling with constant activity, there are some areas that few pilots will ever dare to fly over. One of these large areas is Northern Virginia, specifically from point P73 to point P56. It may sound confusing to you, but this area includes the area from George Washington's house, one of the country's most important historical monuments, to the White House in the heart of Washington, D.C. According to reports, this is a place where aircraft are rarely allowed to fly over, and those that do usually move with millimetric care because any strange behavior could result in an immediate attack. Very few aircraft can approach this area because it could breach the security of the president and attack him without anyone being prepared to respond. Number 6. Kings Bay. You may not know it, but in the state of Georgia, just off the west coast, is the Kings Bay submarine base, a huge, restricted military complex that houses all kinds of military machinery. Initially, this place was nothing more than a simple berth, a point for resupplying ships, but it quickly became something much more significant, so much that by 2005 it was already an established base with everything necessary to operate without major interventions. It was precisely around this time, at the end of 2005, when a no-fly zone was established for this naval base. It's known as the P50, and their request was to prevent most flights from overflying the area due to the special interests involved in being a large military point. For this reason, it's strictly forbidden to approach this area. The airspace can be flown over only by having certain permissions, and in most cases, it's used for all kinds of secret operations for which most pilots aren't prepared. Number 5. The Himalaya. There are heights that are made to never be surpassed. The Himalayas are a clear example of this. Close to Tibet, this place is an unsurmountable test for most aircraft. And the fact is that the Himalayan range is composed of some of the highest mountains in the world, as high as the clouds, and it offers all kinds of risks to any pilot who dares to venture into a climb so high and challenging that the authorities have considered closing them due to the multiple accidents, missing planes and destroyed ships that have occurred in the area. For this reason, in order to access the Himalayas, it's common to take a shortcut through the territory of India, although there are those who don't have enough time to wait and prefer to board one of the most dangerous flights on the planet in order to reach their destination as soon as possible. Number 4. Senkaku Islands. The world is full of conflicts, and geopolitics is an issue that concerns even the smallest of countries. So when it comes to the borders China shares with its neighbors, nothing is a game. Japan, Taiwan, and so many other countries are constantly intimidated and fearful of doing anything that might anger the Asian giant, and that has been precisely what has allowed it to block airspace at will. One of the most unnoticed places where this happened was in the Senkaku Islands, also known as the Diaoyutai Island. This territory is located in the East China Sea, and its sovereignty is currently in dispute with Japan. However, this didn't stop China from unilaterally blocking flights over these islands. Any aircraft flying over this space will endanger itself and its crew. This is a threat that many pilots in the area have to live with. and such is the danger that international air regulators have advised all airlines to avoid flying over this small area of the world at all costs. Number 3. Machu Picchu. Not all air bans respond to political interests. There are also some that are more environmental and cultural in nature. Such is the case of Machu Picchu. This ancient relic of pre-Hispanic history is one of the main tourist centers in Peru and around it. There are numerous natural ecosystems that require special care. Previously, aviation had been forbidden over this temple of the past. However, for several years now, the Peruvian government has advanced work on the construction of the Chinchero Airport, a powerful and modern flight center with which to capitalize on tourism in a more optimal way. However, the fragile ecology of the area and the state of the Inca ruins could be endangered if numerous planes are allowed to fly over its airspace every day. For this reason, planes are still not arriving or flying over Machu Picchu's airspace, although no one knows if this is close to changing. Number 2. Tibet. At 16,000 feet above sea level, it is one of the least accessible places in the world. Its fame has led it to be an oasis of peace. Many monks consider it the place for spiritual elevation, and those who wish to reach it must make numerous and challenging efforts. It is, of course, Tibet, one of the few regions in the world that has a no-fly zone due to natural factors, the dense and steep mountains being one of the main reasons. Of course, most commercial aircraft could fly over this altitude, but they are rarely forced to do so in conventional travel. Thanks to this, the possibility of technical failures and the general dangers associated with a traditional flight are greatly reduced. Occasionally, however, a brave person dares to make such a trip. The results aren't always ideal and the chances of dying in the attempt are considerable, at least for people who have common sense. Number 1. Area 51. It's no secret that the United States has one of the most enigmatic military bases in the world. Not only have all kinds of conspiracy theories been born around it, but numerous unusual events that have been recorded in this area. From extraterrestrials to secret laboratories, Area 51 has a range of stories that can make even the most skeptical of your friends uncomfortable. Logically, this has prompted the US government to take a number of measures to protect the secrets of the mystical Area 51. One of these measures has been a high-security no-fly zone. No one can access the airspace of this military base. Its protection is part of national security, and any kind of travel that is scheduled close to the immediate area must be kept at a long and respectful distance. Any intruder or pilot attempting to get too close is subject to meet a truly dire end. This threat has of course made Area 51's sky permanently clear. However, accidents happen. Planes are unpredictable, and just as in each of the above cases, these airspaces can be assaulted in unexpected and mysterious ways. Would you like to learn about any of these mysteries? Are you willing to discover other places that no plane dares to access? Then join us in the following videos and get ready to find new reasons to fear air travel.